Hey guys, Gerald from Oneupreviewz, and today we've got a sneaker haul from River Island. Before we get into the review, guys, if you're new to our channel, remember to hit the subscribe button, hit that notifications bell so you never miss any of our latest reviews. Slap that like button, we want to see those thumbs up, and drop some love in the comment section below. We try our best to respond to every single comment thrown at us. Let's get into this. So, after a great response from our Boohoo haul sneaker review, which you can have a little check over here, we decided that we will have a look at another British high street fashion retailer, and we'll look at River Island's sneaker range, as you can see displayed on the table here before me. But I've got some gripes to go through about packaging and just little details that we'll get into when we go into each individual sneaker separately. But first, I just want to mention that these sneakers came in these bags, and that indicates rather that they are self-service. And what that is when you go into a store, you'll see the sneakers that we hanged up with their little hangers, and you just serve yourself and just bring it to the till. There's not really an experience when you're there. You should know what size you want, but you got the odd people trying them on in store. You don't get that retail experience, whereas you do when you go to a proper sneaker store. With that said, I'm a big fan of packaging. I would like my sneakers to have good protection, and it's good detailing, and it gives you the good customer experience. You know, opening the box and all that jazz. We did have that with the Boohoo, so obviously we're going to compare that with our Boohoo experience. Right off the bat, none of these sneakers came damaged, but we'll get into, like, as I mentioned, like the little differences. So we'll start the RR logo low sneaker. So obviously these sneakers right here are inspired by the Gucci low sneakers with the little, so they got an insect. I totally forgot what insect it is. Is it a wasp? I totally forgot. I'm not that big into my luxury goods sneakers, unfortunately. But I do know what the Gucci sneaker looks like. We'll give you that little shot of there. And it's obviously inspired by that. You got the stripe there with the little RI logo. Obviously it's River Island. But we'll start with the outsole. And this outsole is all rubber. And you've got, I wouldn't say it's traction or any type of herringbone, but it's like little grooves, just little shark teeth. And the middle, it's got the River Island logo, and it's got the UK sizing embedded in the middle. And as we go along to the upper, now the thing that sucks about trying to research these sneakers is that on the product description on their website, on the River Island website, there's no instance of materials. I couldn't see what kind of materials were made out of, and unfortunately I'm still looking. I can't find the little sticker where it highlights what materials are made out of. So you got leather, textile, etc. But I can tell by just feeling this that it feels like some plastic leather. And if you look along into the lace section, it's not really a normal lacing system because it seems like they've done one over. That makes any sense at all. The tongue is the same material. It's nicely padded though. It's rather soft. Ankle support is there as well. The lining is all textile materials. You got the RI logo all embedded middle here on the lateral side, and it's the same on the medial. And it just looks like a basic sneaker you can find anywhere. As I mentioned, to me, I feel that the sneakers lack really good materials. I mean, I could smell the plastic leather, pleather, as you want to call it. But just at first glance, obviously, a lot of people they're looking at that Gucci price tag. If you want to call this an alternative, maybe you can. And I mean, these go for 30 quid, 30 instead of the believe it's £600 for the Gucci ones. I know which one is cheaper, but if you're going for the obvious heritage and detailing, obviously go for that Gucci one. But if you're looking for a fast sneaker just to wear for a couple nights out, these aren't that bad. RI logo in the insole as well. Moving on to our second sneaker. And the second sneaker is this bubble runner. That's what it's advertised as on the River Island website. And right off the bat, you can tell that these sneakers are obviously inspired by the Nike 270 and the Nike Air 720. We've done reviews of them. If you want to check them out, go ahead, check them out. But, I mean, they're treading on thin ice here, River Island, because they're using the term bubble. Now, if Nike, knowing Nike, they're going to want to shut this project down. So, you know, if there's any River Island reps, you might want to change your description on your website just to save face. But, I mean, the imitation is there, you know, it's obviously there. So we'll start with the outsole. So this outsole is reminiscent of the Nike waffle outsole that you can find. I mean, even to the detailing of the traction parts, it's very similar to the Nike Air 720 and 270. Now here's the little gripe that I want to tell you guys, that this pen marks, that these came delivered with some pen marks that are on the outsole. Now, I don't know if that was a delivery thing when they're writing, or it was just like that when they were packaged. But you know, I don't want my sneakers to come with pen marks or anything. Working along on to the midsole. So the midsole unit, it feels like it's EVA. This obvious imitation of the air bubble from Nike. I mean, even trying to push it down, it's not even, there's no give really. It's quite solid, which is a shame. But then again, they'll face the wrath of Nike, I guess, if they were to make it more cushioned. The whole upper, again, so you've got these leather panels. These are obviously fake leather. They don't feel like leather. And again, I can't really tell if there's any... There's no material stickers again on these ones, which is a shame. But on the underlays, you have a whole mesh. And if you look into the ankle, it's an obvious booty system. The sock liner here. If you go on to the heel, it's got the leather panels and obviously the cushion support. I don't want to really say it's the Nike air bubble, but you know what I mean. You can obviously see it there. Bog standard lacing system, and you've got some coordinates on this little panel here. The insole has the RI River Island logo. And to finish it off, it's in all black. We do like all black. Now, again, these came up as 45 quid. So if you want to get an imitation, if you want to get a cheaper alternative of the Nike Air ones, these aren't that bad, but I'm going to tell you what the fit is like, and I might have some disdain about the comfort. So yeah, that's these bubble sneakers, these bubble runners as River Island want to call them. We're going to move on to the next one. And the next sneaker up are these Chukka Mids, as they are known on the River Island website. Obviously, the big chunky midsole unit is very reminiscent of the Alexander McQueen's, and that was a whole thing. I mean, loads of people wanted a pair. They had a whole trend during 2017 up towards the end of 2019. I mean, they're still regarded as a high in demand sneaker. To be honest, I can't really see that trend coming back again. But these are an obvious imitation of these. These are inspired by the McQueen's. So yeah, we'll start with the outsole. Outsole is an all rubber outsole. little traction parts here in the middle and at the heel, and you got the little 42, which is a UK size 8. Going along onto the upper, so you got that midsole unit that's quite chunky, very reminiscent of the Alexander McQueen. Now the upper, you can tell what it is because you have these little stickers that indicate what materials they're made out of. So these are made from fabric or other textiles. They weren't so specific on the website. I believe it is polyester, but I could be wrong. But we'll just, for the sake of the symbol that is on the sticker here, it's other textiles. It does feel like it's polyester though to me. They're trying to give you the nice suede, that nubuck feel. It's very, feels very durable, if anything. Typical lacing system, cushion tongue, with the River Island and their coordinates on there. And at the heel, I think this is where we might find them in some very thin ice again, because they've got this wasp logo that's very reminiscent of the Gucci one, and the circle that's around it is very reminiscent of the Versace logo as well, just minus the Medusa head. But if you're looking for a low profile sneaker, there's not any branding. It's very casual looking. It's like, looks like a pair that you can wear on a night out and just casually, really. If you're not looking for an expensive sneaker, these aren't that bad. These were 50 quid. Could be argued that you can go for probably £10 more. You can get a branded sneaker if you want, but I feel like these are good at imitating what they are imitating, if that makes any sense. Moving on to our final one. So moving on to our final sneaker, we've got the sock knit runner in black. And obviously, for those that aren't in the know, these are inspired by the Balenciaga runner sock. We've done the Boohoo one. I thought that was really good, so I'm going to compare it to that one. But the sole unit kind of reminds me of a Y3, very Rick Owens inspired. It's because it's blocked like an elephant footprint. That's where I'm getting the similarities from. But we'll start from these outsoles. So you got a multi-traction outsoles, rubber, or here. And on the outsole, it's not, it says other materials, but it feels like rubber. Moving on to the midsole unit. And as I mentioned, it's very reminiscent of the Rick Owens chunky sneaker vibe here. It's very light, so I can assume it's made from EVA. It feels like it's quite sturdy. It's not very flexible. I like the Boohoo one, but they're both different brands. Sock upper, it's all knit. Now you have at the heel panels rubber with the RI logo on the heel, and you have a heel tab for easy access to put your feet in. Now that kind of rounds it off with the little quick reviews of River Island's selection of sneakers. Next bit, I'm going to try them on, tell you how I feel about them, and after that we'll rank them from what I found was most comfortable, what I liked the most, to probably the worst one. So let's go ahead, roll that footage. Now that we've seen what it looks like on feet, I'm going to go do a rundown of my favourite to my worst of the 4 sneakers. So at last place, I have to give it to this mid-boot Chukka, the River Island one in black. To be honest, it was so difficult to get in. We don't have any footage of me trying these sneakers on, and I'm so glad we didn't, because it was so agonizing. Jeff, right there, he can tell you guys how painful it was for me to try these, put these in. They were terrible, and they felt really bad. I totally forgot, so just for preface, none of these sneakers are my true to size. They are all UK size 8s, and I'm a UK 7.5, so there was a bit of leeway. There's some room in all of these sneakers, so just please take that as note. So if you are a half size, take that into consideration when you're purchasing your sneakers from River Island. So I'm going to give this my worst rating. My worst rating. This is going to be in last place, so this comes in 4th. In 3rd is going to be the RI logo, the Gucci inspired one. These are similar to the Chukkas. Horrible materials. It feels really plasticky. There's no comfort. And again, there was no space. So that is kind of something we need to take to our chin. But it just didn't feel great. Wasn't comfortable. Felt like I was going to break it if I did any sort of movements around my feet. So this will take the third place. In 2nd, so just missing out from the top spot, it'll be the sock knit. Weirdly enough, I've given such high ratings to the Boohoo one, and now we've given such a high rating for this River Island sock inspired Balenciaga sneaker. And that's because I find them to be really easy to slip on, quite easy to wear as well. If you're wearing like tracksuit bottoms, possibly some black trousers as well, these would go well. They're quite versatile. So I'll give this my 2nd place, and it wasn't that bad to try on. Like, the fit was great, even despite being an 8, and it was quite comfy. But drum roll, please. The sneaker that came up in 1st is this, the bubble unit. So these sneakers I thought were really comfy. The insole felt like it was gel. I didn't really feel anything on the mid heel unit around the back of my feet because this was quite plasticky. It didn't go down or anything, just like a normal Nike air bubble would, but they would be having some trouble with Nike if they incorporate some sort of air technology. Despite all that, if you were to get a pair, I mean, these are relatively easy to get a pair from River Island. I'd suggest you try these on for size. And that rounds off my River Island haul. Tell us, guys, what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to see us do more of these sneaker hauls from retail high streets, let us know. You know, we are always open to do another haul. With all that said, thank you again, guys. Follow us at Oneupreviewz with a Z on Instagram. And until next time, peace.